Hey guys, I'm Nick. I get a ton of questions about how to catch various species. In one of our last videos, someone named Joe the Builder asked or said, hey, do a triggerfish video. Today is March 1st. Triggerfish season just opened. I had to drop off rentals this morning, so I didn't go. But it's one of my favorite fish to catch because it's just absolutely delicious and I love eating them. So, like normal, we're gonna run a ton of triggerfish charters this season. We're gonna catch a ton of fish. So I'm gonna take a few minutes. I'm gonna show you exactly what I use and how we catch them. They're super easy to catch. One thing about bottom fishing is a lot of people go offshore with the idea they want to catch everything down there, so they just kind of drop a universal rig and whatever they hook, they hook. I'm going to show you how we actually target triggerfish and how we stay away from red snapper. And later on in the year, I'll tell you how we target red snapper while staying away from triggerfish. So check this quick video out. It's like 30 seconds long. It's going to show you me just hand feeding some triggerfish right here next to the kayak. How ridiculous is that? All right, so you just saw how easy they are to catch. You just saw they're not afraid of the kayak, not afraid of boats, they're not afraid of anything. Now, there's a number of ways to get them that high in the column. Some days you'll go out there and they'll meet you at the kayak. No joke, you'll pedal out there and then all of a sudden they're just around the kayak. It happens all the time. I've had them try to eat my bait bucket. No joke, they are vicious. When they're ready to eat, there is no stopping them. So we go out there, I take frozen cigar minnows or fresh caught cigar minnows. I usually prepare it the night before and I cut those cigar minnows in small pieces. Say you have a 5-inch cigar minnow, you should cut it in 6 or 7 different pieces. And that's gonna give you a ton of chum and allow you just to toss it out there. Now, you don't need to go out there and just start dumping it in. Just take 5 or 6 pieces and just toss them next to the kayak. If nothing comes up, move. They're gonna come up instantly. They're gonna respond very quickly. I'll show you what we use rod and reel wise for all of our bottom fishing. It's very universal to let you do whatever you want to do. And then I'll go in and I'll show you exactly what rig we use. So this is the rod and reel. Now this is a Shimano Travala. It's a 6'6" jigging rod. It's rated for braided line from 50 to 100 pounds and a jig weight of 110 to 240 grams. So yeah, it's absolute overkill. We use this for all of the big snapper we catch, the grouper, everything we catch is on this rod. Cobia, the king mackerel, we troll with it. It's a fantastic rod. It serves us super well. It has enough flex to troll, but it has enough backbone to stop whatever we need to stop. The reel is a Shimano Saragossa. It's a 5,000. It has 30-pound Power Pro on it. I'll put all these links in the description so you guys can click on them and get a little bit more information. This is 30-pound fluorocarbon. Now, I took it off here so I can show you back here how simple it is to tie up. This is what we use as far as rod and reel. We've done some stuff, some rod and reel videos in the past about this. Super reliable setup. It's not cheap, but if you take care of it, it will last you forever. Now, I'm gonna get some stuff out from behind me here in a second, put this away, and I'll show you guys how we rig up for triggerfish. All right, the most important thing is gonna be fluorocarbon. You're gonna need some fluorocarbon. This right here is Seaguar, it's 30 pounds. We use this for triggerfish, we use it for red snapper. It's probably overkill for triggerfish, they just don't care. You could probably get away with straight braid, but you need to go out there prepared. Fluorocarbon is better, it's gonna serve you well. It's not gonna fray like braid if it was to get nicked. A little more abrasion resistance, gonna make it easy. So what I do is I just take this, and I open this up, and I'll just rig everything up for you guys so you can see it. There's nothing to it. Oh, can't get it open. Take this guy. I take about 6 feet every time, about this much, arm's length. We'll just cut it off for now. Just kidding, lost my boomerang snips. Dang. Just kidding. Boomerang snip. Should always have these things laying around. It's definitely my favorite tool to have in the kayak. Quick snip. Back in the pocket. Fluorocarbon, good to go. Now, remember, we are fishing just for triggerfish, so we're not out here trying to catch whatever is down there. It's very specific. So we are going to use a Demon Perfect Circle inline black nickel mustad hook, okay? It's a size 1. You don't want anything big. They have small mouths. They have these crazy little teeth, like a little beak. You want a small hook that will get caught in the corner of their mouth, something that you can hide in the bait because they're just gonna kind of nibble at it, they're just gonna kind of bite at it. You want that hook to disappear in that bait, and then next thing you know, you got a fish on like you saw in that video. If you pay close attention to that video, let's pop a hook out of here real quick. If you pay real close attention to that video, you're gonna see this little guy. You're gonna see this little tiny 1/8 ounce weight. Now, if you look at the thumbnail, it's there as well. This little 1/8 ounce weight is the key to all kinds of success. Now, I know no one else does it because when I ask for these things, I ask Brian makes them at Birds of Prey. You know, they always look at me like, why do you want those things, right? This is awesome. I've been doing this for several years. We use it for snapper too, but we'll go into that some other time. All you do with this little guy, you use a loop knot. You take your fluorocarbon, get your little overhand knot, then you take your weight, slide your weight on here, take your hook, slide your hook on here, away from the weight. Now you just pinch, 1, 2, 3, back through both of those holes. You guys aren't going to be able to see that real good. It's just a loop knot. Tie whatever loop knot you want to tie. You pull that tight like so. Man, I lost them things again. I'm getting rusty. All right, get that out of your way. And that is it. That little thing right there, you can probably see it better like that. That little thing right there will catch every triggerfish in the world. Now, why is the 1/8 weight there? Why isn't it up here? Why isn't it below it? Because that little unpainted piece of lead will blend in perfect with the skin of a cigar minnow. It disappears, or bonita, or whatever else you are using. So you just put your chunk of bonita on there. As you saw in that video, you just drop it on their head. Now, that 1/8 ounce weight is there because it will allow you to drop it in the column. It will punch through current with that small piece of cut bait, whether you're using a squid. I don't ever use squid. I always use cigar minnows, okay? Or bonita. Never squid. This is not worth the time. It smells funny, it gets all over the kayak. Cigs and bonita are easier to deal with in my opinion. Put that bad boy on there. The weight will allow you to drop it through the current, okay? Boom, just drop it where you want to. It also allow you to move it around, get it away from the small ones. If you watch that video closely, there's a bunch of small ones around, but I'm just kind of aiming it to the big one. You really can sight fish these little dudes all day long, and that's it. There's nothing to it. That little thing right there, 1/8 ounce little bank weight. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them from Brian out in Pensacola. Those little hooks, size 1, nothing special. You're hooking these fish super high in the water column because they're very, very aggressive. You don't need to have your drag buttoned down. They have to go 60 plus feet to get back down to the bottom or any kind of structure, so let them run a little bit. Don't just hook it at the surface and try to flip it into the kayak. Triggerfish are super strong. I feel like I go fishing with these guys all the time, and they'll hook into a good one, and they'll be like, oh man, that's a big snapper. I'm like, wait a minute. And then it's a triggerfish. They're just strong. They're kind of flat like a garbage can. The bigger ones fight weird. They're strong, okay? Especially in the spring when the water's still cold. It's super, super oxygenated. Those fish, they fight better, okay? So keep that stuff in mind. Tiny 30-pound fluorocarbon, size 1 hook, 1/8 ounce weight. You can use it on whatever setup you're using. You don't need to run out and buy those rods and reels if you already have your setups. They'll do you just fine. I've caught them on our trout gear for inshore. I've caught red snapper on it too. Just learn how to use your drag system. Pay attention to what you're doing. You'll have no problem catching fish on the gear that you have. If you have more questions about the gear side of it, drop a comment and let me know. If you're excited about triggerfish season, let me know. If you want to argue about triggerfish not being the best, get in the comment section and I will definitely argue with you because I love that stuff. Thanks for taking the time to watch. You guys have a good night, day, morning, whatever time it is.